Good to go.
All right, mate. Well, yeah, cheers for joining us, Si. The reason I put this together, like I said, I just gave you a call because I've got a couple of boys in our footy club, and they want to put on a bit of size. So we've got a bit of a challenge going on at the moment. We did an in-body scan last week, and we're going to do another one in 3 or 4 weeks' time. And for a lot of the lads, a lot of them want to actually just reduce their body fat and just get rid of a bit of the sort of the winter fun belly from all the summer sort of beers and things like that. And the other side of it is I've got a fair few blokes who are saying, how do I actually put on muscle size? And I know there's a protocol and a process to that. So for the lads, Si is a certified strength and conditioning coach for triathletes. So he actually specialises in endurance athletes, like sports like AFL and things like that. Wealth of knowledge, walks his talk. It's and better than hearing it from the greyhound. Hear it from this dude, and let him sort of talk you through what you can do in terms of training and food to get there. So, Si, how do these boys put on size?
Awesome. Thanks a lot for having me online to do this. And guys, if you are going to listen out for this, then just take some golden nuggets away from this. I've worked with quite a lot of people who are in your position, whether they're playing, rep football or whatever state that it is with you guys, what kind of level it is. The first thing I talk about is just calories. It really comes down to where you're at with you making sure that you're consuming the right amount of calories so that you're not sitting in a deficit every day and losing weight. And then when it comes down to the calories, it's what type of calories are going in. And then the third thing is how regular you're going to be consuming those calories. So like Rory said, you might have a guy who's playing footy, who's a tradie, that's probably only going to get a chance to eat, first thing on the way on the way to work. He might stop for smoko, have something out of his lunchbox. Lunchtime, he'll stop and have his main meal. And then in the evening meal, he might go to the gym and then have something else after that. The problem with that is there's inconsistency around timing of meals, and the body is going quite a long time between metabolizing food. We want to make sure that the body is in a constant state of metabolism so that we don't become catabolic. We don't want the body to start chewing through the next energy source, which could be ready available muscle, because these boys here, from just looking at if they're playing 2 cardio sessions a week, 1 game, just for those 3 sessions a week, there's a lot of metabolic demand there. And if you're not consuming the right amount of calories every single day, then my concern is that your boys are just going to burn through muscle rather than just churning through fat.
So this is good. So this is good if you want to lose a bit of fat, they'll lose it through exercise, right? But if they're trying to put on size, that'll actually work against them. So you're sort of saying, just to keep this real simple, that they need to eat up a little bit on top of that. So if they're not eating enough, they'll actually burn through their muscle rather than putting it on.
Yeah, and then what they'll do is they'll hold body fat in the areas that they don't want, which for guys is around the lower back and around the umbilical, the abdomen. And these are all the sites in the body when you're stressed, where you hold fat. Yep. So for guys, it's always trying to get that last bit around the waist and whatnot. So
the six-pack.
We're going to look at the six-pack, exactly. So we're now looking at making sure that we're eating more food to burn fat. And we're then going to look at, what sort of foods do we need to be consuming? Well, I know that for me, consuming 3 to 5 meals a day is essential. If you can't consume a good 3 solid meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and those meals need to be consisted of lean protein, a large volume of healthy greens, some good fats, as well as some a good carbohydrate source as well.
So pumpkin,
utilizing
potato,
a good,
that type of stuff.
Yeah, pumpkin, potato, sweet potato. Obviously, we all know the things that we need to steer clear of: your hot chips, your white bread.
Yeah, that's probably the big one. Is what they don't eat.
Those are all the things that are just going to, completely trash our options of getting the body fat down. But we want to make sure that we're consuming an adequate amount of protein. So when you're looking at protein and carbohydrates, protein has got to be a target every day. And if you're looking at an endurance-based athlete, a real simple calculation you can do is 1.8 grams of protein per kilo body weight.
Oh, wow. Yep.
So say you've got Yeah, so say you've got a 70 kg AFL player. He's got to be hitting close to 125 grams of protein every day.
Yeah.
To get, to get that amount. And if you break that down, well, a chicken breast or a piece of salmon might be 20 grams of protein.
So you have to eat about
if you eat 3 good meals with
yeah.
Well, this is right, and this is where you look at like the bodybuilder that's consuming 2.2 grams of protein per kilo body weight. They're eating 7-8 meals a day plus supplementation. At this level, if these guys can make sure that they can eat 3 good meals a day, consisting of a good source of protein, it's going to be around that 20 grams. Then the gap fillers will always come from a good quality sports supplement. And you want to make sure that the quality of the protein in the sports supplement is always going to be of superior quality. And from all the research I've done over the years, the best place to get the quality protein is from New Zealand. And so if you're consuming, say, 3 main meals a day, plus you've got maybe 2 shakes in between that's going to give you the protein, you're hitting your protein target. And so that's the first thing I would do.
Yep.
If you're consuming protein on a high level, it's going to increase that feeling of satiety, which means that you won't crave crap food, which is where we all fall down. Banana bread in the morning, mid-afternoon, we're looking at snacking on poor foods. If we hit that target of protein every single day, the body's going to be full. It's going to be it's a more sustained macronutrient.
So just quickly,
when it comes to the carbohydrate.
Just quickly, so basically from a food point of view, you're sort of saying, like, for these guys, if they're going to put on size, they need to be eating about 5 meals a day. So they can either do that and have 6 big breasts of chicken or salmon or whatever, or they could have 3 meals with that sort of ratio that you talked about before, and then maybe add in a couple of smoothies or something like that, just to make it a bit more convenient. But they've got both options. But realistically, 5 meals a day is what we're looking at. And then the makeup of the carbs and everything else is just a big bunch of greens. And I think we've got a plate of that on the Facebook group, guys, that we can look at. But then I guess the other thing is training, what level, how much, because they do the 3 cardio sessions a week, how much do they actually have to go to the gym? Because I know it's that SEDS principle, specific adaptation to imposed demand. So for a lot of these guys, a lot of them haven't ever been in the gym, or a lot of them surf and do footy training, and then they're labourers by day, and maybe it's quite a physical job. But then we've got some other ones that are office bound as well. So what would be the minimum that have to say go to the gym per week to start to see a change on top of that sort of eating protocol?
Look, you know what? If they're doing, if they've got one kind of conditioning session as a team that they do with you guys, I would throw in at least another 2 strength components as well. And that could be a real good way of breaking those down. If you were doing a 2-day split for an athletic performance team like this, at just a general level, you could do a day of pulling, so your lat pull downs, your bent over rows, your deadlifts, your single leg deadlifts and stuff like that. And then you could have a day of pushes. So that being your squat, bench press, your shoulder pressing. Because if you've got guys doing a 2-day split and they do legs on one day and they do upper body on another day, and then they're doing their running drills in between that, if these guys completely trash their legs and they've got 10K worth of the field to run and their legs are cooked, it's going to kind of negate their training. So it's all about just being a bit specific with where they're at in their program right now. I guess this would be pre-season for them, wouldn't it?
Oh, we've just started. And again, it's pretty basic. So that's really cool. So if we had a push day and a pull day, and we made 3 sessions in a week, then that would be and you could pretty much just do day on, day off, right? And if, I guess, say they're doing a running session at night, just do your arm session in the morning rather than smashing your legs too much or something like that, and then do your legs on your off days, right? They're ways that they can sort of do it.
Yeah, just be smart around that. I mean, if I wouldn't be doing squat session on a Friday if I had a game on a Sunday. It's the leg muscle will always kind of be that the next day, but possibly the day after that. Yep. But just looking at these guys, where the volume of so let's just take 2 examples here. You're a labourer and you're fairly active all day, and you're burning calories day in, day out, and you're going to do this training protocol. You really need to make sure that you're eating a lot of food, and the foods that you're consuming are going to nourish your body.
Yeah,
not crap. Because
yeah.
And if you can just focus on the fact that you never want to feel hungry, you always want to be eating. For the guys who are the office-bound people that aren't burning as many calories through movement throughout the day, just think about consuming your carbohydrates around your physical exercise. So by that I mean, you don't want to get up in the morning and have a bowl of cereal, which is just carbohydrates, and then sit behind a desk. Because the energy is not going to go anywhere, but it's going to be stored on your body. So for the guys who are very sedentary at work, just think about consuming carbohydrates around your training. For the labourer type guys, let's just think about making sure that you're not starving and you're always metabolizing good food.
Yeah.
I would definitely consider 2 solid strength and conditioning sessions in, as well as the 2 cardio and the other strength and conditioning session they're doing. And with regards to their cardio stuff, they need to be doing some good explosive interval-based stuff, as well as the long-distance stuff as well. But if everyone could just calculate their metabolic rate, then, with a BMI, I just did mine based on doing what I would be doing for these guys here. Yeah. And 85 kilo male, 33 years old. For me to make sure that I'm not going to lose muscle on this protocol of your training protocol, I need 3,305 calories a day. And what I'll do is I'll send you the link to the BMR calculator. So just for your guys, they can understand that, okay, look, I could eat 5 or 6 meals a day and get that volume of food in.
Yeah, which isn't Hungry Jack's, by the way.
No. That's very high in calories, but it's very poor in quality of calories, unfortunately. But for these guys that eat 3,000 calories every day, it's a lot of food.
Yeah.
And this is why the sports supplementation is just so convenient, because these guys are on the go. And as men, we're not going to sit there on a Sunday night and spend 4 hours food prepping for the week.
That's true.
And so that would be if all the lads could focus on a protein target to start with, hit that, add the 2 sessions in as well with your strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
And the first thing they should think of when they come off the pitch is not a 2 is new, is something that's going to help them recover.
New export.
And then after that, and then into your beers.
Yeah. So maybe have a smoothie or quick meal within 30 minutes after training, right? I mean, after a game. Just to top up.
Well, totally, mate. Post-workout supplementation is by far the most quick and easiest and beneficial, because it's pre-digested food. And, if you look at all the top teams out there, they're all sponsored by sports supplement brands, because people who work in sports and conditioning they know that it's a compulsory part, not only to get the most out of their training and their performance, but also so these guys can recover, because you being a physio, mate, the first thing you want to keep your guys clear of is an injury. And if they're dehydrated, if they're undernourished, if they're not getting the right amount of good nutrition into their bodies, then it increases their likelihood of getting injured. It makes your job a lot harder. Yeah.
Well, I'm just here for support. So that's cool, man. So I reckon we'll wrap it up there, dude. But if the lads say do need to reach out to you, maybe for a message or some ideas, is that cool? I can connect them.
Yeah, totally. And mate, I've got some good 4 and 6 week 2-day split strength and conditioning programs. I'm more than happy to flick those across to you. They're PDFs. They're fairly simple to use. If any of the guys get stuck on what the exercises are, they can YouTube them, and it's very simple to follow.
Cool, man. So for any of the ladies that want to put on size, we're looking at 5 meals a day. Look at ways of actually eating a little bit cleaner than what we are. Keep the shit out. Maybe look at adding in a good form of a protein supplement. And then obviously training day on, day off, at least 3 sessions in the gym a week, and push and pull and really keep it that simple. And if they want to, stick off the beers for a month, they'll get better results. But if they want to add that in and have a bit of moderation, then it might just go a little bit slower. So pretty simple.
Yeah. The more of the right food they can eat will allow the body to burn that stubborn body fat.
Yeah. No, that's sick, man. I really appreciate your time, Si. I'll record this and chuck it in the group for the lads, and I'll reach out if I need anything else from the lads. Okay.
All right. Take care, Rory. Talk soon.
Cheers, man.